I'm Penfriend, but you can call me Laura. People have been asking me to make a video about my live streaming setup, but I want to do more than that. I want to talk about why I've been live streaming my online gigs since 2013. I'll talk through the nitty-gritty of the gear and settings that I use to get high quality audio and video every single time. I'll also share some tips for not losing your nerve, because although we've probably all had experience of playing to next to no one at an in-person gig, it's quite different to play into a camera and have absolutely no response whatsoever. So if you're a fellow artist looking to get into live streaming or wondering why on earth you would continue live streaming now that in-person gigs are possible again, this video is for you. And if you're a music fan interested in taking a peek behind the scenes of my live streams, you're also very welcome here. I started playing online gigs because I could see from my Bandcamp sales that there were people in other countries who liked my music. I thought it was a bit sad that those people would never get to see me play because it was so unlikely that I'd ever get to travel to their country, let alone happen to be there on a night when they were available or could afford to come or didn't have something else to do. I then started thinking about all the people around my own country, the UK, for who that was also true. Over the years, talking to all sorts of people on the internet and directly asking them what barriers there might be to coming to in-person gigs, I found out that many people have safety concerns about getting to and from gigs, about standing on their own at gigs, people who have kids and can't get a babysitter because it's incredibly expensive. Some people have mobility issues or anxiety or depression and don't feel catered for at venues. Sadly, some people feel in danger just for going to a venue to enjoy the music that they like. It really didn't seem fair that those people wouldn't get to see me play if they wanted to, and so I started doing my online gigs. There are a few reasons that I choose to use YouTube for my live streams. I find the chat function on YouTube is really good, plus your live streams are automatically turned into videos that get published on your channel straight after you play them. So that's a huge plus for me, because I don't have to do anything extra, and anyone who wasn't available at the time the live stream happened can watch again whenever they want. This is a video about how I do things, so of course you can live stream on different platforms. I've personally never used Twitch, but obviously lots of people make careers out of doing that. And there are various pieces of software you can get which help you to live stream simultaneously on Facebook, Instagram Live, and so on. There are loads of YouTube videos explaining exactly how to do all that sort of thing, but I'll just talk you through what I do. Lighting makes the hugest difference in picture quality, so I use this Godox SL 60-watt light as a key light and balance it with this Neewer 10.6-inch round video light, with other practical lights in the background to add visual interest. If you're playing gigs in the daytime or on light evenings, you can almost certainly get away with using light from a window, but I always play in the evenings, and the new Launchpad is dark like a dungeon in the daytime as well, so I need lights. I use this Sony AX700 camcorder, which I connect to my computer through the Elgato Camlink 4K via an HDMI cable. The Camlink turns any camera with an HDMI output into a webcam, which makes it suitable for streaming. I also hit record on the camcorder and set up 2 other cameras so that I can film the gigs and edit together a highlights reel afterwards. To get the sound into my computer, I use this Focusrite Clarett interface. This is where I plug in all of my instruments and microphones, and it's what I use to record my albums too. I have the model with 4 inputs, but if you'll only ever need 2 at a time, I'd highly recommend the Focusrite Scarlett. I'd commonly have my main vocal mic in input 1, my loop pedal in input 2, guitar in input 3, and perhaps a separate microphone in input 4 for talking. I have that set up on my desk, and I switch between camera views from my camcorder to my Mac's inbuilt webcam if I'm feeling fancy. To be able to hear my vocals during the gig so that I can sing in tune, I wear this pair of very normal in-ear headphones which I tuck under the back of my hair so they're not distracting on camera. Most importantly though, I have a headphone extension cable that I attach to these headphones so that I can be standing anywhere in the room and still plug into the Clarett. OBS is the free software I use to send my audio and video from my computer to YouTube Studio. It works brilliantly and it's incredible what it can do. You can add multiple video and sound sources, titles, and all sorts. The trickiest bit with live streaming music is getting more than 2 channels of audio to travel from your computer to YouTube. If you just want to plug in 1 vocal mic and 1 guitar and you don't need any effects, you don't need to go through Logic at all. You can just select your interface as the audio source in OBS and it will work, as long as you use the first 2 inputs on your interface if there are more than 2. I wanted to use Logic X so that I could plug more things in and have more control over the sound. So I searched and searched for a way of using Logic as the mixer and routing the audio out to YouTube Studio. Eventually, I found this video which solved all my problems. I'll put a link in the description box to this step-by-step guide. Huge thanks to Alex Bailey for making this. I now have this template saved so that I can recall my settings every time I do an online gig. I can spend time getting everything sounding exactly how I want in Logic and feel confident it's being sent by OBS to YouTube in as high quality state as possible. And that's it. Once you've got yourself a setup that works, please write everything down. Draw diagrams. I promise you it will save you so much time next time. And I'm talking volume settings on Logic if you're using it. I'm talking volume settings on your guitar. Everything, every little bit of it. Because then when you finally reach the holy grail of your live stream setup, as I reached 2 live streams ago, you know that you can replicate that next time. And I can feel confident in that now. And that feels so good. Write notes. Just write notes. Now it's time to play the gig. Take a deep breath, collect yourself, press that big red button, and take the stage. It does take a little bit of getting used to. Playing a song, playing your heart out, performing to the camera, to the audience, and then you stop the song and nothing. No applause, no happy faces, no sad faces, no nothing. And grace and poise will just come with practice. I'd suggest trying to resist the urge to fill all that space with chat. It's lovely to talk to an audience and connect with them, of course. Please be friendly if that's what you want to be, but don't feel that you have to fill all of that space. People are absolutely fine waiting for you to collect yourself and play the next song. The other thing I'd say to try and avoid is looking at the chat and the number of people watching as you're playing, even between every song, because that's just really distracting from an audience member's point of view. I've watched a few live stream gigs that I really didn't enjoy because the artists were so focused on how many people were watching at that moment. You could see their eyes flicking over to the chat like that. Oh, that's making me feel dizzy. To see who was talking to them during songs. It's really lovely to take some time during the live stream to look through those comments and reply to people if you want to do that. But my personal preference is to not do that between every song and certainly not during songs. I used to do this because I used to use just my laptop inbuilt camera for the camera. So I was just looking into my computer and I couldn't avoid seeing that stuff. That's actually one of the reasons why I upgraded to using a separate video camera. It's so much less distracting. Instead, I started designating a time after, say, 4 songs when I would go over to the computer, have a look what people were saying. Sometimes I'll even switch over to the computer camera while I'm reading those comments so that people can see me facing them that way. And then I switch back when I come back to play the rest of the gig. For quite a long time, I just used the inbuilt camera on either my laptop or my iPad, and that was okay. If that or a phone is what you have access to, never let a perceived lack of gear get in the way of an idea, get in the way of doing stuff. Because of the pandemic, I've never played an in-person Penfriend gig, but because I had my live stream set up, I was able to play numerous online gigs from the very launch of this project in May 2020 to right now. I still have no plans to play in-person gigs in 2022, and I haven't got any plans for next year yet either, but I intend to play an online gig every 2 months. Make a great big fuss about it, record it, film it, and share it with as many people as I can. I don't want to be restricted to the number of people inside a venue when there's a whole internet of music fans to reach. So Penfriend online gigs are here to stay. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below, and I hope to see you down the front at my next online gig. See you soon.